Hey everyone, so I was thinking after my last video about how weeding can take up so much unnecessary time, and I was thinking about what I do in my own garden when I just don't have any time to stay on top of the weeds, because it's not something you can really stop doing without creating a rod for your own back. So I thought I'd do a little quick 2-minute pro tip on how to stay on top of your weeds. Weeding is really important to try and maintain, but sometimes you just can't keep up. If you think about the fact that most weeds produce thousands of viable seeds every few months, if you leave your weeds to grow for any length of time, you won't just double the amount of work. You have exponential growth, and that's really not the kind of growth you want when it comes to weeds. I've already run through how you can plan ahead to reduce your weeds with mulch, and I have links to some of my other videos, like how to make a pet-friendly herbicide and what to do with the troublesome tropical chickweed. But I wanted to give you 3 quick shortcuts that I use when I'm a little overwhelmed with my gardening tasks. The first is to at least make sure you pull the flowers or the seeds off your weeds. That buys you a few weeks, but it's not ideal long term. In some cases, like if the plant is an annual, it may not have enough sustenance to create another seed pod and it'll die. But most perennials will just come back stronger the next time. But hopefully by then you'll be ready to deal with them a little bit more thoroughly. Another shortcut solution to weeds in garden beds is to use a small fork and just turn the weeds into the soil. Although this can bring dormant seeds to the surface and give them a chance to germinate, and depending on the type of the weed, it doesn't always kill them or stop them growing, but it may slow them down a bit. This can be an efficient way of getting rid of herbaceous weeds. By exposing their roots, it can kill them off and eventually cause them to break down in the soil, and they'll actually become compost. The last quick tip is to weed when wet. Weeds will often just slip right out of the soil when it's been raining, and even up to a day or so later. The same weed the day before would have been impossible to pull out. Work smart, not hard. Another thing I often tell new gardeners or new owners of a garden that we've installed is that the first season of weeding is always the worst. All the seeds in the soil have been disturbed and they're busy germinating, or it may be the first time anyone has spent any real effort removing the weeds, but the key is to commit to a weeding schedule and stick to it. You'll soon see the fruit or lack of the fruit of your labors. So hopefully those 3 shortcuts will help take some of the stress out of weeding your garden when you're just so overwhelmed by those frustrating weeds. If you don't mind, like and share the video with someone who you think could do with some help with their weeds. Otherwise, happy gardening.